And so the Quran goes on to say that at the same time that you have this Jewish hatred and hostility, and you have that civilization founded on blasphemy, displaying the same war on Islam, you will find that there will be a people. You will find that there will be a people who will be the closest in love and affection for you. And I hope Bosnia is listening, and Kosovo is listening, and Albania is listening, and Macedonia is listening. You will find that there will be a people who will be the closest in love and affection for you, who will say, we are Christians. And that is because the Quran goes on to identify who are these Christians. It gives us three ways by which we can recognize. Number one, they still hold on to monasticism. The monasteries in Paris and Washington are now McDonald's hamburgers, and Pizza Hut, and bingo halls. But the monasteries are returning to Russia, and every Greek is proud of his monastery. Monasticism is still alive and powerful and strong in the Eastern Orthodox Christian world. The Quran speaks and says something more. It says that they are not an arrogant people. And then finally, the Quran identifies those Christian people in a chapter or a surah of the Quran named after them. They are called Rum. Rum. And the Quran says Rum was defeated in a land close by, close to Arabia. So that eliminates Chicago. But the Quran prophesies that within a few years they will reverse this defeat and become victorious. And on that day when Rome is victorious, you Muslims, and the Prophet is still alive at that time, you Muslims will be celebrating their victory. You can do what you want with your Salafi methodology. You cannot deny the truth. That when the Quran speaks of Rome, it was speaking about the Byzantine Orthodox Christian Empire. It was speaking about Orthodox Christianity. And Russia today is leading the world of Orthodox Christianity. Yes. And so it is Russia's destiny to eventually forge friendship and alliance with the world of Islam, that part of the world of Islam which does not turn in prayer to Washington. It is Russia's destiny to join with the world of Islam in a war which will take place after the nuclear war. And so we have the good news for Russia. You're going to survive the nuclear war. Yes. That war which comes after the nuclear war, or in Islam we call it the Malhama, would be the war which will liberate Constantinople. They don't want us to remember this. And so they have banished the word Constantinople from the vocabulary. And it is a criminal act today to use the word Constantinople in Turkey, because they don't want you to remember what Prophet Muhammad, Allah's blessings be upon him, has prophesied. The conquest of Constantinople comes after the Malhama, or the nuclear war. And the conquest of Constantinople will take place on the basis of an alliance between Muslims and Orthodox Christians. Why Constantinople? Why not Washington? Why not London? You know that square mile that controls the world of money in London? Why Constantinople? The answer is connected with the Black Sea. The answer is connected with Crimea. There is only one possible explanation for a conquest of Constantinople, and that is that Russia will survive the nuclear war as a naval power. And the conquest of Constantinople will liberate the Bosphorus, from NATO control. And so the Russian Navy can pass through the Bosphorus into the Mediterranean. And that's going to create serious problems for Pax Judaica. I don't think we need to speak more on Russia's destiny. This is enough. We can conclude that it is more than just amazing that a man living in the desert of Arabia 1400 years ago, who never went to school, never went to university, could not read, could not write. Allah kept him that way. Who never traveled out of Arabia, never came to Geneva. That 1400 years ago he could prophesy that from underneath the river Euphrates will emerge a mountain of gold. And the people will fight for that gold. And the 99 out of every 100 would be killed. And then he warned us that we must not touch that gold. How should we respond to a monetary collapse? The scholar is sitting right here. Petro has more expertise than I do. How do we survive not just economic collapse, but more specifically monetary collapse, which could be around the corner? Could be a year or two from now. Make sure you don't leave this hall today until we get some answers. All I can do is to take my head and join it with yours and ask Petro to join with us. How do we survive monetary collapse? How can we extricate ourselves from a monetary system that is digital and electronic? How should we respond to the day when governments no longer rule the world, but banks will rule the world? I leave you with these intriguing questions, and I leave you with Petro, who will help us to answer them. Thank you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.